Saudi Arabia. I keep saying I went with my heart heavy. It was tough. Any Kenyan knows the drill. We have had stories day in, day out. Go to the internet. I was worried, but I was in a bad time of my life. And being that I was taught to believe in God and positivity, I was like, not every story must be bad, you know. I was so determined for my story to be good. And somehow I was managing it until I don't know what happened. I'm still giving the story. So, in the case of Saudi Arabia now, I keep wondering, Saudi Arabia is an employer that also employed me, and there is some money that helped me somewhere. So they are viable. And any other employer out there in the world. So I'm like, there are no channels. There is nothing else that can be done apart from cruelty. If a disagreement comes up between an employee and employer, there is no other way they can solve their differences apart from selling fear and removing dignity from people. We all sin. Satan sinned. Satan sinned. I don't know what mlifanyana, but I'm like, I think punishment, you know, most of us out here are suffering because of punishment. We make mistakes all the time. I'm human. I know I can be stupid sometimes. I can make stupid, dumbest decisions, and I hate myself for it. But I have learned to give myself grace. And that's what I extend to other people. It doesn't mean they will misuse it. There is a limit. But I'm saying I do not resort to violence. I'll never resort to violence. Can we have maybe, who is responsible to teach people how to respond to things? To teach people how to manage anger? I'm sad. Every day I see and hear stories of very sad, very bad, very poor things done to girls. I'm like, where is God of the girl? Where is God of the woman? Even today, right now, back in our country, as we are trying to air our views, you know, Mr. President Ruto, the bill concerns us. We are the contributors. Without us, that bill will be nothing. We deserve to have a say in it. And you know the person who is feeling it the most? Us. Especially us, the Gen Zs, this you are calling Gen Zs that are unemployed. Us that are eating from hand to mouth, and when we hear more pressure, pengine hata ituguzi, lakini tukisikia kitu itaongeza bei na already tuna survive. Hand to mouth. Inatuasha. Itatoa ma feelings bana. Mtu aje live from hand to mouth. Hata elewa. That's why you see people desperate on the street. And it's an issue of public participation. A whole president, Mr. Ruto, you're falling young potential men, taxpayers, you're falling, the same tax you're following, you're killing it in the streets. Those are taxpayers, they buy bread, they eat, and everything that a man does has to go to the government. So, as a president of Kenya and many others that have served, we, the people, employed you. Every time your employer needs to tell you something, needs to hit the street. What is the need for civilization? Why are we civilized? What is the need for civilization if up to today, public participation, thing that concerns us giving our comments, is being called rioting, demonstrating, and people are dying for it? A whole civilized society doesn't have an avenue for people to talk like this without someone dying in the streets. It's such a shame. Government of Kenya, government of Saudi Arabia, shame on you. All of you who are sitting on things that could help everyone and thinks that you're just watching things go bad. It's a shame if girls are dying, still dying. It's a shame if girls are still coming with funny stories back home. God, I'm also complaining to you that you allow the president we chose can sit somewhere and be comfortable with people dying in the streets while participating in what concerns them, in what they will be contributing I think it's time, Parliament, you have a slot for public participation so that we don't demonstrate. We already have that provided for. We have a say before anything is even passed. Let's have new terms instead of calling them demonstrations. Let's call it public participation. Let's have an avenue, and let's get these young men, instead of being felt in the street, let's get them some allowance. Let them be representatives of the voice of the people. Killing them in the streets, Mr. President. We really should vet our leaders better. We should vet our leaders better. Saudi Arabia do not have anything else to say, like, I'm disappointed. I have met all your leaders. The whole leaders. All the leaders of Saudi, they know I'm disappointed, and nothing is still happening. Men that wear that. Very serious men, and all they can do to a woman, because it's a woman, I've never had a man die poorly. All they can do to a woman is cut her up because of small mistakes, because I was there. I was trying to find out what goes wrong, and I might have a few things I caught on. Shame on every leader that is not doing something to promote or make progress in civilization. Nobody should be dying undignified, dear God. Everybody deserves a dignified living, and I'm saying living even in terms of when it is over, because everybody knows sometimes it gets over. Let's have some better stories. I'm saying no to trauma. I'm demonstrating against trauma, especially in Saudi and any other place, because clearly even our young men, that is traumatizing. That is still cruelty.